Welcome to today's lesson. I'm Julie from Purpose Wellbeing and this is Parker. So today's lesson we're going to focus on the hamstrings. So lengthening the hamstrings, which will hopefully alleviate some of the tightness we can suffer from in the hamstrings and also then alleviate some tightness in the lower back. So let's just start by coming to a comfortable position on the mat and taking some deep breaths. So take a nice deep breath in, feeling the belly expand as you breathe in, and then feeling the belly contract as you breathe out. So nice deep breath into the belly, and as you breathe out, actively pull the belly button back to the spine to exhale all the air. One more time, deep breath into the belly and a full exhale, bringing the belly button back to the spine. So we're going to start today's lesson in child's pose. So I want you to come to an all-four position, moving the dog off the mat if you need to. The hands are underneath the shoulder, the knees are underneath the hips. We're going to take the gaze forward. You'll find that little arch of the lower back, the natural arch. And we want to then push the bottom towards the heels, bringing the forehead down to the mat. So if the head doesn't reach the mat, feel free to stack the fists on top of each other and give the head a resting place with the fists. Or you might just need to bring both of the palms to the mat and pop the head on the palms. Or you can use a yoga block or a book, anything that you can rest the head on. And when you've got the head rested, if it's not on the hands, stretch the arms forward into an active child's pose. Just taking a few breaths here, sending that breath to the back ribs. Feeling the stretch through the legs and the arms. Then let's come back up to all fours and we're going to bring the right leg forward. We want the knee to be over the ankle, and then we're going to bring the hands up to the thigh, feeling the stretch on the hip flexor on the left side. And if the hands and shoulders feel good today, take a breath in, bringing the arms forward and reaching through the fingertips. And taking another breath in and then reaching the hands overhead, stretching through the fingertips. Breathing in and out. Then bring the hands back down to frame that front foot. I'm going to straighten the front leg. So the foot is staying on the floor, we're straightening through the leg, and then we're going to come back to bend. So we're just moving through these half splits. Stretching through the hamstrings, taking the leg as straight as feels good for you. You might only get to here before the hamstrings tighten up. That's fine. Just work within your own range of movement. Moving backwards and forwards. And then let's hold with the leg as straight as possible. Feeling free to raise the toes if that feels good for you. That might just intensify the stretch a little bit for you. And then bringing the foot back to the floor and taking the knee back to meet the other one and bringing the left foot forward. Again, making sure we've got that alignment of the knee over the ankle, bringing the hands to the thighs, And trying to have the torso straight above the hips, so it's not forward. We're trying to keep the torso fairly straight, and we're feeling that stretch down that hip flexor on the right hand side. And then from here, breathing in, reaching the arms forward. And if it feels good for you and the shoulders are okay today, another breath in and reach the arms overhead. Palms are just facing each other. Taking a breath in as we reach through the fingertips, and a breath out as we just let those hips sink a little bit lower. So just holding here for a moment. And then bringing the hands down to frame that left foot and straightening the leg. Working through the hamstrings here. So we're just coming backwards and forwards, feeling that stretch through the back of the left leg and the hamstrings. Taking whatever range of movement feels good for you. And this time, let's hold it as straight as possible. See how we feel about lifting those toes off the floor, bringing the toes closer to the face. And just giving the hamstring a moment to stretch and lengthen. Taking some deep breaths here. And then bring that foot back to the floor and take the knee back to meet the right one. Bringing the hands out front, pushing the bottom back and coming back into our child's pose just for a moment. Seeing how things feel for you now. We're just going to lift the head and take the hands over to the right. So as far as feels good for you, and then drop the forehead back to the floor. Feel the stretch all the way down the left hand side of the body. Sending the breath to the ribs there, feeling them open up with that breath. And then let's push into the hands, lift the head, and just move the arms over to the left, bringing the head back, forehead back to the floor, and feeling that stretch all the way down the right hand side of the body, from the armpit to the hip. Sending the breath there, particularly if you can feel any tension. Just let the whole of the body open up. And then let's bring the hands back to center, bringing the hands close in to the body and pushing ourselves up to our comfortable seat. Taking another deep breath into the belly and exhaling fully, pulling the belly button to the spine and bringing the hands to heart center. Hopefully this practice has given your hamstrings a little bit of love today. Practice it every day to see the benefits. Namaste.